Hey, this is the girl on fire, Jessie Nolan, and you're listening to Wrestling with Entertainment.
Bringing you the latest exclusive breaking news, previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between on Saturdays, and interviewing your favorite wrestlers on Wednesday. Every both of those days on YouTube and Castbox. I am your host that fucked up the intro, James J. with Kaliko Yachts.
What up? Drink of the evening, Hennessy Black and Sprite.
Sweet. Mitch Mayhem.
Hey, what up, everybody?
And Scooter Dust.
I can assure you I am not two kids in a trench coat.
I had my doubts for a minute there. But it is a great
Little Rascal style.
It is a great day for wrestling. And last week we interviewed Jesse Rollins, who in maybe the next 5 years might be taking over the world.
Jesse Nolan.
Nolan, that's
No.
what I said.
Yes, Nolan.
Nolan.
You made it plural.
Okay, so I slithered my ass. Give me a break.
Yeah, that's the difference, you know. Is he Seth Rollins
He could
or
be.
Roland?
Roman Reign.
That's an
Yeah.
industry we're not getting involved with.
Next week on the show, we have Dio Ivory. I believe I pronounced that correctly.
I didn't hear any extra asses.
And that's definitely one of a very passionate interview with a great individual.
If you were a 90s kid, that's an interview you're going to want to hear.
And full of 90s references as well. On February 3rd, we have Waves and Calls. It has Jalen Brendan and Trayvon Jordan. Our first ever tag team. That was a fun interview. And on February 10th, we have Billy Starks, who is plural and actually has a Z in her name.
Yes, Z as in double the flavor. I don't know.
I mean, it's Z with that's very 90s. I mean, Dudley Boys,
yeah.
Buddy Boys, bonding.
Dudley Boys.
Yes.
Hardy Boys.
Z guys for all you Rock of Ages Broadway fans. I had to get that reference in.
I think that's only you, Scooter. I'm sorry.
Lost Boys.
Oh, can I help it if our listeners are uncultured? It's fine.
In the news this week, we talked about it last week as well. WrestleMania is going to be in Tampa this year, and it's going to be 2 nights again. You think this is just a Corona, we need to space things out thing, or do you think that they got a taste of the Wrestle Kingdom 2-night fever and is going with it? Scooter?
No, they are going by what the Super Bowl is doing. And they're gonna look to top it. They're gonna basically see what the Super Bowl is gonna do, and they're gonna try and find a way to condense it, but also increasing the number of people. The Super Bowl is going to have 22,000 people with, and they're literally, from what I'm understanding, is there's going to be literally 22,000 almost isolation pods, if not at least 10,000 minimum. 7,500
some time ago. You had mentioned that there would be like plexiglass pods.
Yeah, there would be like groups of pods, but now it's more or less confirmed that they're individual. And I mean, I use the term pod in a very loose way because, I mean, it ain't Google, they're not nap pods.
It's more like an elimination chamber pod.
Yeah, probably. I would think that, and with the top uncovered. But again, the WWE are looking at what the Super Bowl is doing in terms of their seating, and if they don't directly copy it, it will probably be somewhat similar. But they're going to try to increase capacity in some way.
Is the Super Bowl going to be the blueprint of how we're going to get fans into arenas normally again?
Yes, that is what the essentially the talk is around the water cooler for getting fans back into professional sports on a regular basis.
And what about you, Kaliko? What are your thoughts on 2 nights in Tampa with possibly 22,000 fans?
They're just trying to maximize it because it's just. I mean, you could tell they're maximizing the seats in the sense that this is 2 nights, but next year it's in Dallas, and in Dallas it's only like 1 night, and LA is 1 night. So the assumption is
As of right now.
Well, come on, man. They're not going to change it. It's already been booked. So, I mean, because if they were going to go 2 nights from here on out, Dallas would have been the perfect time to do 2 nights, especially with a 100,000 seat stadium. So they're going back to the old way that it's done next year. But I mean, this year it makes sense. Trying to make like people to seem like get as much as they can, especially from an economic standpoint. And maybe it'll help because some people will buy both nights, and some will buy 1 night, and some will buy the other. So just see how it goes.
Which is having some technical difficulties at the moment.
Oh, the other consideration is they're probably not going to be offering any sort of package in terms of, at least not for this year. But we may see that in Dallas, where a hotel and flight is included. But then there's no guarantee of non-exposure, so they might have to eliminate that purely so that they, in anticipation of not getting shut down.
What say you, Mitch? WrestleMania 2 nights in Tampa, possibly 23,000 fans.
Like if anyone goes back and watches or listens to a few of our older episodes, you'll know that I literally said I don't see how they're gonna do a WrestleMania with people unless they have a situation where like every 20 rows you have like windows or you have like dividers and like plexiglass. And I literally said like that's the only way I see it going forward. They're smart. They're doing it that way. Awesome.
And like Kaliko alluded to, they also announced that in 2022, AT&T Stadium in Texas will host WrestleMania 38, and in 2023 in Los Angeles they will host WrestleMania 39.
I'm sick of this California bias, man. We had WrestleMania and then they pushed it 2 years. Fuck.
Well, well, the thing about that is, I kind of prefer it to be 2 years
so it's not
away.
wasted. like with the pandemic and everything. So like the Southern California WrestleMania isn't like wasted, right?
I think
Is that what you're saying
James.
though?
I think James might be alluding more to weather in terms of when it's outside in a big stadium.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
what I'm trying to
let's
say
let James
is,
talk. Yeah.
no, what I'm saying is, obviously pandemic is in full swing in 2021. We have no idea what's going to happen in 2022. And
Especially in LA. Yeah.
2023, this might be something we might say, oh, you remember when coronavirus happened? We might actually have a full packed stadium in 2023 in Los Angeles.
No, that's not gonna happen, dude. But we're in a new normal. You'll see. But yeah.
I mean, it's 2 years away, 3 technically. Um,
I'm not
but
gonna get into Anyway.
but I think their goal is to have a packed Los Angeles stadium and break that AT&T stadium record in Los Angeles. That's just what I feel they're gonna do. But what
I
do you
mean,
say,
unless,
Mitch?
Go ahead. What were you gonna say, Scooter?
I'm just gonna say one line. Unless somebody calls in a bomb threat.
Shit.
Yeah.
I mean, with what's going on in the world, it wouldn't surprise me.
Because their history of promoting big WrestleManias in LA, and then ticket sales failing.
Well, that was because of the Olympics, dude. There's like, I mean, come on. there's reasons.
That was 91 though.
Oh, I thought that was during the LA Olympics. That wasn't?
No.
Oh, never mind.
It was supposed to be at the LA Olympic Arena.
Okay, yeah, WrestleMania. Okay, yeah.
But
so there's an event. What I'm getting at, I'm sorry, James, real quick. What I meant was it was impeding an event. That's what I meant. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
how do you feel about, usually it's year to year they announce WrestleMania. How do you feel about them announcing 3 years in a row?
Honest, I think it's like about fucking time that they start progressing in how they operate. They've needed to like get with the times and progress and like change how they operate for years now. I felt like they've been stuck in the past, and so finally they're good. This is good. You have a roadmap to where you know what you're looking at, or you know what's in front of you. Your workers know what's in front of you, and your fans know what's in front of you, and you all have a common, a goal to reach on the calendar. So,
What about you, Kaliko? What do you think about them announcing the next 3 WrestleManias in advance? I think we may have lost Kaliko.
It's technically the next 2, if you really want to.
Well, technically,
oh,
yeah.
who cares?
Yeah, I mean, it's technically since we knew.
Well, since Kaliko's not here, do you want to kind of elaborate on that a little bit more?
Now, one of the the big mysticisms around WrestleMania, back before the days of the internet, was learning where WrestleMania next year at WrestleMania.
But things need to change sometimes. I'm just saying.
They do need to change. However, the WWE is a sports entertainment company, and honestly, I think this is a show of a bit of it's a bit of showing of how the professional the mainstream business of wrestling is failing. It seems a little bit of a desperate grab for attention, because because it's never happened, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just if circumstances were different, would this
Okay.
happen?
Let me be devil's advocate. You gotta put yourself in the understanding of the situation currently in our world. Pandemic just happened. People are weirded out. They have nothing to look forward to. Give them something to look forward to, and they're doing that with a few cities. I don't see a problem with it.
But it can't be guaranteed.
Why not?
Because California is currently in the purple in coronavirus cases.
I mean,
that's why they pushed it 2 years. Okay. Well, then I agree. Okay, if they can't lock it in, then I kind of agree with Scooter.
I mean, it's locked in terms of a business
Contractually,
standpoint.
yeah, okay.
But again, this is like
But it can be canceled if the pandemic continues, right?
You know, the Olympics, they vote like every 6 years for where they will do the next 18 years. I'm sorry, no, I take that back. Say for the next 16 years, for the next 4, maybe even 3 events. And that's spaced out every 4 years. So the next 12 years worth of Olympics. So it's almost like the WWE is trying to inflate its own ego by equating itself, we're as important as the Olympics to do this, and I think that's why they did this to begin with.
Okay. Perception is reality in business, though. I think this is kind of smart by them because they're saying like, hey, remember we're the WWE, we're WWE Inc. We're like a big corporation here. Like we have we can do certain things and we're gonna do it, and then they have the ability to do something like this. I just don't see it.
And I can pinpoint the exact reason is that the WWE always used to follow the Super Bowl in terms of, the stadium.
Okay, but that's an old, antiquated model.
Wait, hold on. But now the WWE sees an opportunity to be the one that sets the stage for the Super Bowl.
Right, and that's a freaking 5-head move, in my opinion. They're trying to. Perception is reality to a lot of people. If they act like that, then people will come and give them their business. It's some weird mentality thing with psychology. I can't understand it, but I've seen it. So, like, if you act that way, you are perceived that way, and so I think it's not a horrible idea.
I think
that they're finally doing something like that. Yeah, they should have a long time ago. Sorry.
I think the term is Frigoli delusion.
A what?
It says some scientific mumbo jumbo like that.
Frigoli.
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 Frigoli. The Frigoli.
Never heard of that.
It's something.
Hold on. Let me. Yeah.
You can't say wrestling with entertainment isn't educational, damn it.
I'm most likely wrong in thinking of the exact name for the term of what Mitch is describing, but
it's actually a disorder. But I get what you're saying. It's a delusional belief. Yes.
Next up on the news, Primate Party made their Impact debut on Tuesday. They wrestled Chris Sabin and James Storm in a winning effort. We're going to talk about Impact a lot more in this coming episode, but Impact Wrestling against AEW wrestlers 0-2 on their own show. Is that really a good look for Impact Wrestling, Scooter?
I mean, one, I'm just happy to finally see James Storm involved in this. Um,
I
but
didn't hear what James said, so I just heard Scooter say James Storm. What did you say, James, real quick? I'm sorry.
J- uh, Private Party wrestled James Storm and Chris Sabin on Impact Wrestling.
So James Storm showed up on Impact.
No, Private Party showed up on Impact.
but
Has
you
Storm
said
been there? I'm asking you, like, I didn't know James Storm was there.
you just said he wrestled Chris Sabin and James Storm.
Yeah. So what about James Storm? Did he just now arrive in Impact? I keep calling that TNA.
That's what I was referring from James.
But
Okay, well, that's what I'm asking. I'm kind of confused now.
I think James Storm has done a couple shots with Impact as a
I didn't hear of that. That's news to me, man.
The rumor was he was going back, but
That's
there
news
was
to me.
a
Yeah.
possibility of him maybe returning to the WWE if
Did
possible. But
Did you
let me get
hear? Did you hear that James Storm gave an interview where he detailed he was supposed to go into WWE in March, right before the pandemic, or
Yeah.
February to March, right before the pandemic happened, and WWE called it off because of it.
Yeah, Chris Sabin and James Storm
Sabin?
and Chris.
Had to get you, sorry.
Well, I mean, 'cause, hey, no one tops Nick Saban.
Captain Stabbin.
Chris Sabin, James Storm, Private Party for winners earn an Impact
That's a
World
good-
Tag Team
that's-
title shot.
Real quick, that's a damn good. I didn't see Impact. I wish I had. Now that seems like a good match. Just like the
But-
people involved.
I mean, yeah, TNA is now 0-2
Impact.
Impact. God damn it. Impact.
See, it's not so easy, is it, dude?
Total nonstop idiocy.
There you go.
But now Private Party
Or
has a chance to
assholes.
become
Yeah.
Impact Tag Team Champions.
So this is what okay. Basically, this is best case scenario. I said Impact and AEW remind me a lot of each other. In my mind, I didn't think they would ever merge, but it feels like they're kind of merging.
Yeah, this is just if a merger doesn't happen by the end of the year.
I would be shocked. It looks like it. I don't know how you paint this as anything but a merger. Like when everyone is on each show,
which and
it's gonna just progress.
In a wrestling company, and I've talked about this before. The third year, is the really the make or break year.
Yeah.
And I mean, you look at Vince with WrestleMania 3. That was the one that really brought everything to the forefront.
WCW took them at least like 4 or 5 years, solid years, but yeah.
Well, WCW split from the NWA in their third year.
Oh,
so
okay.
This merger. This merger it's a trope essentially at this point.
But it's a trope that works for each because, like I said, if they can get that women's division on AEW's fucking set, dude.
That Impact would provide the women's division and the pay-per-view market.
Yeah, and then Kenny and all and Private Party and etc. helps Impact. Dude, this is a match made in heaven. I told you. This is exactly what AEW needed was help with the women's division and the other stuff you were talking about. I agree.
And if Tony Khan doesn't buy whatever what is it, Skyville Studios?
It's a Canadian group, isn't it?
It's
no,
Anthem.
Anthem. No, wait, he's talking about something else.
The studios in Nashville.
Oh,
he's talking about he's talking about the
where Impact airs out of. If Tony Khan doesn't end up buying it by the end of the year, I would be shocked.
Okay. I don't know what the studio you're referring to is called, but I would think that it's under Anthem control.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember the name of it.
Oh, well, I would. What I'm getting at is, I would think that if they were somehow to purchase Anthem, they would get the studio. But I don't know. I don't know the inner
No,
workings. So.
I don't think I don't think we'd purchase Anthem. I think he would just purchase the actual.
That would be a lot cheaper.
So, like,
I'm just saying I don't know if that's on the market.
Your thoughts on Private Party picking up a win on Impact Wrestlers?
Hey, real quick. Perfect placing for Private Party. Perfect. Impact is somewhere where they could have flourished had they not gone to AEW. Like, I really feel like it's a perfect fit for them to. And what I'm saying is they're already a great tag team. They're just young. They need more. It's just repetition to get it as perfect as you can. And Impact's a great spot for that. I feel there's a lot of openings for people like them, or for talented acts like Private Party. So
And
I think it's a good fit.
Skyway Studios.
Okay.
Kalika,
That's where.
you want to weigh in on this if you're down? And I think we lost Kalika.
I think he's gonna take a rain check.
Well, yeah, he doesn't want to talk to us tonight, man.
How dare he?
Bro, he's a dad. It's all
Also
good. I don't trip.
Impact Wrestling TV, Ty Valkyrie was arrested in the investigation of who shot Johnny Bravo. She will
They
be
remember.
You made it sound like she was really arrested.
she will either be trialed in Florida or Stamford, Connecticut. More likely Connecticut.
Oh, shut up.
Well, I mean, and I believe her lawyer is Ethan Page.
Oh, well, Ethan Page is dead, so, I mean,
I thought it was Brother Love.
we'll get to that later.
It's Ephraim Book. What's he doing here on NXT?
Okay.
It's a fun little situation, but it's a great way to write her off TV because she's leaving Impact Wrestling. She actually
Real quick.
signed an extension to finish that match with Deanna.
Real quick, I feel like Taya is one of the most undervalued women in women's wrestling. I really do. I think WWE would be stupid not to offer her a big contract. I think they're gonna.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask you. Do you see her going to WWE?
Absolutely. AEW, WWE, and I think if WWE's smart, they're gonna try to pitch a good deal. And AEW, I know AEW. She's got friends in AEW, so they're both gonna try to get her. Yeah.
Let me rephrase the question.
And her husband's in WWE.
Do you see her in NXT or on Raw or SmackDown?
She's not going to be propelled to the main roster just because her husband's Johnny, not Morris, or John. Yeah, you know what I mean. John Morrison.
Johnny something.
I almost said Johnny. Yeah, I almost said Johnny Impact. Yeah. But
same difference.
Go ahead. What, Scooter?
I see if they can get it, if they can work it out, a possible surprise Royal Rumble entry.
I don't know. Maybe if they have a 30-woman Royal Rumble, okay, because they would need some extra women.
It would be probably the best way to introduce her.
They had freaking Chelsea Green in it last year.
Yeah, I mean,
before she was on, like when she was an NXT person, yeah. So.
And having her as a surprise for a one in, have her do that and then go to NXT for a bit would probably be the best way if they can get it done. And you'll probably see her name on the list of 7 potential surprise entries.
Right now, I think besides Tessa Blanchard, the Tessa Blanchard situation's muddied with in real life situational problems, but
words.
Yeah, but Ty Valkyrie, she will definitely get a lot of attention from WWE and AEW, and she's been waiting, dude. She's been like marking her time, earning, biding her time in Impact and working it. Lucha Underground, So I think she's ready to take the next step.
It was also announced that Sting will be teaming with Darby Allin in a street fight against
This, yeah.
Brian
ahead, sir.
Cage and is it
It-
Ricky Starks, correct?
and,
What?
But just Team Taz in general.
I think it's Cage and Stark or Cage and Hobbs.
Well, whoever it is,
Wait, say that again.
if this isn't
The-
a cinematic match, it's a really bad idea.
It's
Right.
going to be a match.
Huh?
Quick, the pay-per-view matchup. You guys talking about the pay-per-view with Sting?
Yeah, it's
Okay, it's gonna be Sting and
gonna be-
Darby Allin versus Cage and Ricky Stark.
It's Ricky Starks. Okay. Yeah, it is cinematic. It is
Yeah, so
cinematic.
it has to be cinematic because Sting cannot take legitimate bumps.
It's already
They have to do it cinematically.
yeah. And in fact, I have it up right here. Sting's AEW in-ring debut will likely be a cinematic match
So they can protect him.
at Revolution.
Yeah.
Street fight. Cinematic match. Protect the 61-year-old Sting who has a bad neck with spinal friggin' stenosis.
Stenosis. Yep.
That's something I friggin' have. That's god awful. And I'm trying to get back in the friggin' ring, but I mean, this is also
If it's
at a
movie,
time.
if it's a movie set, then I'm sure that they'll well protect him. But
Yeah,
on like a 9-hour shoot. But yeah,
this is also at a time when AEW pushed his yeah, they did their worst pay-per-view buy for full year 2019, which was in February. Wait, no, never mind. I think I take that back. There's talk of moving the pay-per-view to the following weekend because they don't want to go up against Jake Paul versus Floyd Mayweather or whatever.
Oh God. See, how are we not living in hell with Jake Paul's on top of the world? What the fuck?
I don't even know who that is.
You don't need to. Good. You're lucky.
That is an interesting thing because last year Revolution was in January, and now they pushed it to February, I believe. But yeah, staying wrestling again in any capacity, not a good idea. Your thoughts, Kaliko? Crickets.
If Kliko's not here,
Crickets. Last thing on the.
if Kliko's not here, can I say something?
Sure.
Okay, so I brought this up earlier with James. I kind of had some self-reflection about just like things, just my thoughts in general, and I realized Darby Allin is literally like I'm taller than him. I'm almost 6 foot, but literally I might be even a little skinnier than him. So when I shit on him, I'm shitting on myself. So I'm like, I'm gonna stop underestimating him because I hated it when people did it to me. So
And one last thing before we move on. I think we're all forgetting how easy it is to dress up as Sting.
I did it for Halloween in 2012, I think. Yeah.
So I imagine something along with like mind games where there are multiple
Yeah.
Stings, that are not the actual Sting.
Oh God, that again? Here we go. Okay. I mean, I would like something new, but if they do it right, maybe it'll work. I don't know.
I mean, and one of them could be Darby. It's a very interesting psychological dynamic between Sting and Darby.
I kind of, like I said, like it made me realize, honestly, that Sting, when just how he interacted with Darby, it made me realize, wait a second, I'm literally doing the Darby Allin when I get mad at other people for doing to me. So I'm like, dude, I gotta stop looking at that like he has gotten here for a reason. Like, give it to him. So I'm gonna stop counting him out. I'm gonna stop. Yeah, I'm gonna give him a chance. We'll see.
Last on the news sheet, NBC Sports Network is supposedly closing at the end of the year.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, all media is dying. Let's go.
And that might not be a good thing for NXT because sports might make a comeback to the USA channel.
Yeah, NBC owns USA. Yes.
So, I mean, we're a long way off from that happening, but
Yeah.
you see NXT maybe moving to another day or just taking the hits when they need to be preempted. Scooter?
Well, first of all, yes, it is confirmed they are shutting down their NBC Sports Network cable station at the end of 2021, which means that hockey and NASCAR
Golf.
are coming
That's their
to
big one.
USA Network. They have a channel for golf.
Well, I mean, that was the big thing I knew NBC Sports about.
They
Okay.
actually air golf on the actual main channels.
I can't stand watching golf. I can't.
The main concern is Wednesday night hockey.
Right.
And I mean, I remember the times when Raw was preempted for a friggin' dog show.
Oh, I remember that shit. Westminster Kennel Club.
The Westminster Kennel Club dog show.
Yep.
And none of those dogs ever looked good anyway.
No, they did some stupid shit that like they pranced them around. It was just a whole ego boost. It was just one big ego flex.
I mean, there's a possibility of the WWE extending NXT to possibly a
That's
streaming issue.
where everything's going. Even
WWE Network, obviously.
Old media, like for an example, Conan O'Brien. He's retiring his show on TBS in 2021 to go into streaming. I think a lot of old media is gonna start transitioning into the new age. So it's just the beginning.
That will conclude our coverage of the news.